you that video is something hard, complex, time consuming, expensive, and also boring. So today we're gonna talk about these amazing tools on where I made this countdown, for instance, by the way. And we're gonna talk about Invideo with Abhilash, and you will understand that with this tool, producing video, it's so easy. Stay tuned. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the special marketing live show. Today, it's the day to talk about my favorite video editing and producing tool, which is Invideo. If you don't believe me, the countdown I made, it was made with Invideo. This intro video I made with Invideo. My section videos, I made them with Invideo. My outro video, I made it with Invideo. And also my video nuggets, I made it with Invideo. It's an amazing tool. It's easy to use. It's not expensive. It's very funny to create videos. And I love the interface and everything. And also, there's another important thing. You have a huge community there to help you in the problems you may have. So it's an amazing tool. If you are there watching us, please let me know in where in the world you are and on which platform you are watching us. I let Abhilash there on the basement on India because my place is very big. So it goes from Portugal to India. He's there in the basement waiting for me. So let me bring Abhilash. It's a pleasure to have him here. Okay. Welcome, welcome, Abhilash. How are you?
Good, Marco. Good. How you
I'm good.
been?
Well, I'm with the winter here. you know,
Yeah, so
I,
good.
it's good because I stay more at home, and then I have time to create more videos, which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
amazing. So thank
yeah.
you so much, Abhilash, to join my show. It's for me,
No
it's
problem.
a truly, it's truly a pleasure. It's very good to have you here because, as I said, and I think the good thing about video, it's you have proofs. You don't
Yeah,
okay, because oh, I love in video. How can you I prove it? Look at my videos.
yeah,
It's easy. So
yeah.
thank you so much. I will ask you, Abhilash, for you to introduce yourself, and then let's talk for a while. Is that okay?
Sure, sure, absolutely.
Sure.
So, my name is Abhilash. A lot of the people who probably use InVideo or are members of InVideo would know me. I take care of the community for InVideo, and I've also been with the company since the very early days, wherein it was just five, six of us, and we were trying to figure out what the hell we're doing, right? So it's been an incredible journey. We are so happy that we've gotten to a place where we've been able to help so many people turn their ideas into videos, right? And yeah, I mean, I think we are just only getting started. We know we are nowhere close to building the product that we want to build, right? We want to build the most intuitive experience ever when it comes to video creation. We want to simplify things to an extent where anyone can literally get on the platform and turn their ideas into an amazing video in flat 15 minutes, right? Even if he's never experienced the platform before, even if they've never experienced any editing platform before. So that's the objective, and I'm hoping that we'll get there. We'll get slightly closer to that by the end of 2021. And yeah, I mean, I can come back on the show next year and kind of give you an update on that.
Yeah, yeah, I hope so. Well, Abhilash, as I as I said before when we were talking about how to make the show, that there were I have some entrepreneurs also on my audience, and I have to
Mhm.
make this question because it's something that happens lots of times, which is okay. I want to build something, but there are so many players on that market. Why should I go there? And
Right.
video platforms, there are so many. There are based on web. There are some softwares. How crazy were you to start video platform.
So so I just wanted to add something here that I'm actually not one of the founders, right? So while I have actually joined the team very early on, but I can't take credit for building the product. However, having said that, what I can definitely tell you about is uh, that we weren't actually crazy. What we realized was that, I mean, at least the founder's vision and our vision, even when we were starting out very early, was that is there a gap that is worth solving, right? And we saw that there was a gap. In fact, there's still a gap. I don't think there is one product that kind of takes care of the entire video marketing landscape or that entire spectrum and does it in a way that is super easy to do, right? So it's still there. I mean, whoever solves that the first will basically capture the largest audience set and will capture that market, right? So we want to kind of do to video creation what Canva has done to image editing, wherein they have actually made it possible for any people who don't understand how to edit images and things like that to be able to create gold standard designs. And I'm a huge fan of the product because I personally use them at least 3 or 4 times in a month, right? And it kind of empowers me to kind of not rely on anyone else when I have to get things done. And that's exactly what we want to do for video creation, right? So I think the thought process are very simple. It's not a question of how many players are there or if they're how many years they've spent trying to solve this problem. The question really worth asking is if the problem has been solved, right? And if it hasn't been solved adequately and people have just made quick fixes or part-time solutions, then I think you definitely have a shot worth taking, and you should definitely go and commit to solving it the right way. And that's exactly what we've done, right? So very simple things I mean, if I have to give you an example, like the simplest of things on the lines of 24/7 support, right, is such I mean, it's such a very simple overlooked thing, right? But at the same time, it's so undervalued because if you think about it, the biggest bottleneck for a lot of people when it comes to video creation, even if you build the simplest platform under the sun, will still be that it's a slightly complex process. And I agree with them, right? Because there are so many things that I mean, they could have questions about. It's not just editing, but it's also about what template should I pick, how should I script my video, what music should I pick, things like that, right? So no one had actually thought about giving in 24/7 support. And I mean, more so the complex platforms. Like if you look at some of the incumbents like Adobe Premiere Pro or After Effects or any of those softwares, or even Filmora or any of those softwares, which kind of are slightly on the more complex side, even they never thought about giving 24/7 support, whereas it's a lot more needed in their case, right? We are still a lot simpler than they are. So I think those were the kind of gaps that we saw. I mean, we definitely hadn't identified them at that point in time, but we just realized that um, the solution is not there yet. I mean, the problem hasn't been fixed the right way, and the market size is pretty big. So we actually went out there solving it more for ourselves. At least Sanket, the CEO, and the other co-founders actually set out to solve it for themselves because they wanted to create videos and they did not know how to. So they were like, okay, there isn't a platform that I can just jump onto and then kind of solve this. So which is why they kind of said that, okay, let's build this.
Well, and they built an amazing platform, and you nailed there some good points. Like, okay, there are some solutions that are not perfect. We may come and get that spot, and yes, I think it's you made it very well, that explanation. And I want to in your opinion, and I think you have this feedback from, because the group on Facebook, it's huge and it's very engaged there, and it's, I think the engagement of Facebook group tells a lot about the product, the service, or the company which it turns around, like Invideo
Yeah.
in this case. Which are the most comments for my audience to understand the most valuable features and advantages that Invideo has, in your opinion, and with all the feedback you have, tell
Sure.
us the greatest advantages, please.
So I won't really look at them as advantages, right? I mean, I again, it goes back to the fundamental question as to why do you want to create videos in the first place, right? So, given that a lot of your audience is business owners, entrepreneurs, and things like that, and even otherwise, even if you're talking about video creators or marketers in general, both of these cohorts are not necessarily people who have a lot, like all the time and the money, like they don't have all the time and money and bandwidth to actually go and spend hours on one video, right? This is not a movie that is being edited, right? So categorically what happens is anyone who puts a marketer's hat on, so for example, it can be a brand manager, it can be a social media manager, it can be a business owner, it can be an entrepreneur, it can be a drop shipper, right? When they put a marketing hat on, suddenly the problem statement ends up more or less being the same, which is how do I basically create a video that will stop people from scrolling, and how do I create it in the least amount of time, uh, preferably in a matter of minutes, and how do I do that without burning a pocket in my hole, without burning a hole in my pocket, right?
Yes.
um, and if another component to this is, add to that the fact that some people have never edited videos, right? So then the question also comes in, okay, can I do all these three things while I have never ever edited a video in my life before? That's the problem statement that remains, that's universal, that's across the board. So the way that we look at building in video, and the reason why it fits in a lot of cases, is not necessarily that it has any advantage, it's just that it is actually trying to solve that bottleneck problem, right? So let me give an example, and that's how I'm going to also list the features in terms of that order, right? Because I'm like, I don't categorically want to talk about the advantages that Nvidia has. I'm saying that, okay, here's the problem that you have, and if that resonates with you, then this is what you should be looking at in terms of getting or subscribing to a product that can solve it, right? Number one, it needs to help you create videos that are going to stop people from scrolling, right? Now if you break that down categorically, that comes down to two components. One is the design of the video, how it looks, right? Which is in itself a very complex aspect to tackle, because design does not mean video editing, right? Design means that even if you're a trained professional video editor, you could still not understand design. A lot of video editors don't understand design, right? So because usually when you're looking at marketing videos, the design component consists of animations, it consists of overlays, effects, things that I also don't entirely understand, right? Now if I have to go and master all of that and then start coming up with a new design every time I have to think of a social media post, then it becomes extremely difficult for me to scale this, right? Now there are templates out there that are available, but they are all going to work on something like Premiere Pro, right? And you will have to pay every time you buy a template. Now Premiere Pro in itself is a super complex product, right? So if you're hands-on on that, then best of luck. You can actually go about trying to get a template, then import it into Premiere and then try and make a video on it. But my take on this is that you should actually look for a solution that gives you like a whole host of options in terms of design templates that you can select, which can act as a great starting point for you to start creating your videos, right? That's your ground zero. And then it should allow you for 100% customization, so that you can actually tweak it to suit your brand and your messaging, right? That's number one. That's the first aspect that is needed in terms of creating videos that stop people from scrolling. Number two is, once you figure out the design, you need to figure out what is the footage or the image or the visuals that go into the video, right? You have two options. Either you can go and shoot things yourself, again, which is not a luxury that a lot of people have, because if I have to go and shoot something, I will feel super underconfident about it because I don't know how to do it. I know phones have like the best cameras, but I still very rarely will get the kind of output that professionals do, right? So in that case, what do? So again, then the second feature that we kind of built in was that, hey, let's include an inbuilt media library of more than 1 million royalty free images and video clips that people can just leverage, and they can use that to build their own videos, right? So they don't have to leave the platform. Now again, this saves a ton of time, effort, cost, because just the price of sourcing stock video footage is massive, right? If you've ever gone and tried getting a subscription for Shutterstock or iStock, you know what I'm talking about, right? So we solved those two problems, and we said that, okay, if you take care of these two things, you will move in the direction of enabling them to create gold standard videos, or videos that will stop people from scrolling, right? Now that's one problem that we've solved. Now this, let's move on to the second problem. How can you enable them to do this while not having them to spend more than 15-20 minutes or tops 30 minutes, right? And also while taking care of the fact that this person might never have edited a video before. So how we tackle this is by building a super intuitive video editor, which is probably, I don't know, like 20x simpler than Premiere Pro, right? You can literally just get hands-on on it by the end of your first video, right? That's how easy it is. And yeah, we chopped off a lot of other things, other non-essential features that are not needed for 90% of the use cases when it comes to videos, right? Again, like I said, if you're making a movie trailer or something like that, I wouldn't even recommend probably using InVideo for that, because you have all the time, and you have the luxury of time and money and effort to spend on it. You might as well go and do it on something like a Premiere Pro. But when it comes to the use cases that I'm talking about, like the remaining 90% use cases which don't have that luxury, I think in video just kind of solves for that by giving them a super intuitive UI, right? Now we went one step ahead, and we also added to that 24/7 live support, as you were talking about, which wherein you can literally talk to an expert from our team and someone will be there with you in under a minute, right? That's a response time of under a minute at any given point in time throughout the day or the month or the year, right? Now that again ended up being super impactful, and it empowered people, because now they knew that, okay, you know what, we'll figure this on the fly. It's not like I have to sit and watch a tutorial for 2 hours, then go practice, and then I'll get it. I can actually just start right now and then figure it as I go, right? So yeah, I mean that's primarily how we built it, right? So and then obviously was the third bottleneck that, okay, while we are giving them both of these things, while we are enabling them to create thumb stopping videos in a matter of minutes, even if they've never edited a video before, can we also make sure that we make this super economical, so that this can be afforded by anyone and everyone? So that's when we hit the sweet spot, and we worked really hard to bring the cost down to as low as $10 a month if you buy it annually, right? It's $20 a month, 110 $120 if you buy it for the whole year at once, right? So that's literally the price of, I don't know, 3 coffees at Starbucks, but that's the benchmark that we wanted to achieve, and that's why the product works. And those are, if you'd like to say, some see it as advantages, we see it as meeting and giving exactly what people needed to solve these bottlenecks, right? Does that make sense?
Absolutely, absolutely, yes, absolutely. And another good thing about Invideo, and I'm I'm testifying, is the group. I think
Yeah,
it's amazing how,
yeah,
because I think one of the problems that people may face again with video is, okay, it seems good, but I'm not confident to start. I don't know from where to start. So
yeah,
I think it's a good option if you are there stuck and you don't
yeah.
know if Nvidia works for you. Go to the group, Facebook group, and you just have to search Nvidia. Can you remember the name, because it's
Yeah. No, if you
of-
just let them just search for InVideo on Facebook, that's the first result that'll show up, right? It's called Video Marketing and Creation Hub by InVideo. That's literally the first result that'll show up. It's got about 19,000 members. Now, again, that was actually an extension of this journey itself, wherein we said that, okay, what happens when someone creates a video, right? Okay, we've enabled them to create a video, fantastic. Why stop there? Why not give them an environment where they can actually share these videos and create a safe environment for them where they can get active feedback, right, before they push it out to the world, before they push it out to their customers and things like that, right? Why not create an environment where they can ask their questions openly, compare products, compare features? Like, we never take down a post um, about a competitor product, for example, when someone puts it up saying that, hey, how does Invideo fare against this? And a lot of people do that when they first come in. But that's okay, right? Because that's exactly why the community was built. And people give their honest inputs there. A lot of people say that we have multiple products and we are okay with that, right? So yeah, I mean, it's a great place to get started with. If anyone wants to know more about Invideo, if they want to look at, if they want to draw inspiration on how others are using it, right? There are about 19,000 odd people just like you, me, and everyone who's watching this,
John,
who are,
Steven,
yeah,
Bridgetti.
yeah, exactly. They are just people like you and me who weren't using InVideo till about a few months ago. And the reason they contribute and the reason why they are so active is because of how much it has impacted their lives, and how much it has empowered them. And yeah, I mean, it's a great place to just kind of understand how InVideo can help you guys. Ask your questions. I'm super active there, so you can always tag me. There are a bunch of other people who are super helpful. So yeah, for anyone who's wanting to get started with InVideo, go get a free account on the platform. There's a trial account that you can get started with, and ask whatever your questions are on the group or on the chat support window. And I think you should be good to go.
Perfect, perfect. So let me kind of recap. So by these days, by a very inexpensive monthly fee subscription, or you can pay the annual, which it's better, I think.
Yeah.
You can have free footage, free audio, stickers, transitions, layers,
Yeah.
animations,
Template.
filters, templates, masks, lots of things. Okay,
Yeah.
so I don't know what you are waiting for. And I want to ask you something, Abhilash. What are about to come? Any new that you can let hear before you go?
So I honestly, so the thing is that we have been working on some long term projects for quite some time now, right? So I honestly don't know what is the status of any, like, in all honesty, I don't know, right? The reason why I don't know is also because these are super long projects, but I can tell you that we are definitely looking to revamp the timeline, right? Because again, it's not something that is an easy problem to solve. We have done at least 5 iterations so far in terms of improving that, right, over the last 3 years. And I know that we'll probably have to do 5 more before, hopefully not, but you never know, right? We could potentially have to do 5 more iterations before we get it right, but we are committed to getting it right once and for all, because we know that once that happens, it is going to unlock so much potential, right? Everyone's going to be able to everyone's going to turn out to be a video editor, right? An expert video editor of that, and that's the objective. So all I'm going to say is that the timeline that you see right now when you go there is, it works really well. It's really good. You will find it super useful. But I'm saying that we are leveling that up, and we are basically going to have a much more advanced timeline that's going to let you do so much more, right, with the platform. But yeah, that's what I'm going to leave you with.
I'm waiting for the video transcription and to allow me to make
Yeah.
nugget. This I think it will be a nice feature. So Abhilash, we are almost getting the end, but before that, I want you to let your suggestions. So let me bring it. So on this section, I ask my guests for suggestions, which are
Sure.
a shout out. You should make a shout out to a professional that you think that people may follow. A
Mm-hmm.
book, a
Mm-hmm.
tool,
Mm-hmm.
a habit you have, a movie, and a TV show.
Okay, we'll we'll take that one at a time. So, what is the first one?
Yes, The Professional.
I think so. There's a Facebook expert. Her name's Samantha Pilling. She's on Facebook. You can find her on Facebook. You can also find her on LinkedIn. She's hands down one of the nicest people that I know. She's super helpful. She's been a part of the Invideo community as well. She's done a couple of live trainings for us. She's insanely good in terms of just being able to explain complex concepts. Right? She's obviously she's an incredible expert when it comes to Facebook, but more importantly, she's also an incredible person when it comes to deciphering or breaking down these concepts and explaining it to average Joes like you and me, right?
Okay.
And that I think is a real gift, and that's why I feel like this. I mean, she's got such an amazing future because I can already see every time she kind of takes us through something, we leave everything and we are glued to the screen, right? We're like, oh, like this is as good as it can get. So Samantha Pilling is definitely someone that people should go and check out. Samantha, if you're seeing this, I'm so glad that I did get to do this for you.
Okay, perfect. Now a book.
A book. So there's a book called The 4 Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. I think that's something that I'm currently reading, which is why it's the first thing that came to my mind. But if there are a lot of business owners and people who are just looking to understand how startups work and how basically, like, a lot of people when they look at Invideo, they don't really understand a lot of the decisions that we take and things like that, which is okay. So the first thing is that you have to be okay with not knowing those things, because by the very nature of these decisions and by the very nature of the journey, they're not necessarily something that people have done in the past, right? So a book that I strongly recommend and something that changed my life close to about 7-8 years ago, when I was on my first job, is Zero to One by Peter Thiel. It's a very famous book. I mean, it's an incredible book. It's a must read for anyone who's looking to just get a sense of how startups work and how companies work.
Perfect, perfect. A tool.
I'd have to go with Invideo,
Okay. Quite
but
fair.
other than Invideo, I think I'd go with Canva. They're pretty
Okay.
good.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah, perfect. A habit you have, Abhilash.
Uh, I don't know. So I think I read a lot. So I read a lot, not necessarily in terms of books, but I read a lot of blogs. I mean, in a day potentially I'd spend about an hour overall throughout the day reading some blog or some form of research. In fact, a huge chunk of my job also entitles me to kind of do some or the other form of research, so it pans out really well. So I read a lot, which has worked really well in my favor. So if yeah, I mean, that's a habit that I think I'd propagate for people.
Absolutely, and a very good habit. And now a movie.
A movie in terms of a movie that I like or a movie that I
Yes,
recommend?
yes, yes, yes. As you want. Put
Okay.
put both together.
Okay, so I don't know. So Whiplash is something that comes to my mind. I think it's an amazing movie. It's won an. I mean, it was nominated for an Oscar, but I think it's an incredible movie in terms of just how difficult some professions are and what it takes to kind of really be at the top of the game when it comes to performing arts and things like that. Like we actually have it extremely easy when it comes to our day-to-day jobs, right? Because I mean, honestly, it's okay. It's not like we miss a beat and things completely crumble down, right? We have a lot of scope to learn from our mistakes or kind of navigate. But I think Whiplash is definitely a must-watch for a lot of people who just want to understand what it takes to perform at the highest level.
Perfect. And to finish, a TV show.
A TV show, I honestly just binge watch Friends. I mean, I don't watch a lot of new TV content because I don't have the time to, like,
Yeah,
I mean, it takes a lot of bandwidth to kind of sit and consume new
absolutely.
TV content. I just watch TV series when I'm having lunch or something like that. And usually I'd like to watch something that I've seen a million times so that I can focus on food. So Friends it is always.
Absolutely. Well, we have this comment from Chris. Hello, Chris. Hello, Marco and Abhilash. I'm so glad that I can follow a little bit live of this very interesting interview. You can recap it once we finish, Chris. It's very good
Yep.
to have you. So, Abhilash, where does people can find you and in video?
So I think the easiest way for them to connect with me is on LinkedIn. I mean, they can reach out to me on LinkedIn. They can. I'm fairly active on LinkedIn. You can also reach out to me on Instagram. But I think if they want to, if they professionally want to reach out to me, LinkedIn is the way to go. I will reply to their messages and things like that. So yeah, it's a good platform.
Perfect. And in video, just search in video and it will
Yeah,
pop.
just search for Invideo on Facebook. You will basically get, the community. I think that's probably the first place that you would want to start with. If you want to go and just sign up and try the platform, just search for Invideo on Google. You'll get our website, and then you can just go and play with it.
Absolutely. Well, Abhilash, it was a pleasure to have you here. It was a very insightful conversation about this such amazing tool, which is InVideo. Hope that people will start using it, or at least
Thank you.
join the group so they can find how InVideo can help them. And for instance, it's a very good option for you to make a video Christmas postal card.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
it's it's a very good option. And okay, I hope to have you soon to talk about some new features coming on InVideo.
Hopefully.
Thanks. Thank you for all of you who are watching us now or then the replay. Hope you like this video as much as I did. Don't forget, I have down the link that you can try in video, and also it's on comments, so you can try it. Wish you well, we are almost on the weekend. Wish you a good weekend. Take care, and we will see soon. Bye bye.